I'm loose. Go ahead.
You're like, I'm loose. Relax, baby.
You're not helping. You're making this worse.
Okay, give me your hand.
Babe, please start.
Okay.
You're wasting time.
God. Anyway.
You know, I get more looser as we go. So if you don't start, it's not going to get there.
Bro, I'm going to make your butthole loose.
Dude, I'm going to make your fucking
what?
Butthole loose.
Yeah. Exactly. Hello and welcome to the We Smell Good podcast. I'm your host, Sophie, and this is your host, Brando.
Hi.
Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode. How are you feeling today, Brando? Are we feeling loose?
Feeling pretty good. We spent the entire day sleeping yesterday, so I feel pretty good.
Okay, good. We're working on right now. We've been, watching our last two episodes, trying to figure out like what we can fix and improve on. Because obviously, we don't really know what the fuck we're doing. We're working on getting Brando a little more loose.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
What do you mean?
You keep reminding me that I'm fucking nervous.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. I told you not to mention it, not to keep moving, and now you're like, oh, by the way, this guy's having a panic attack. Don't worry, he's gonna get out of it. Like, bruh.
First off, you are not having a panic attack.
You're gonna get me to have one. I'm gonna get anxiety being recorded. That's what you want?
Second off, I thought...
Do you remember this entire discussion we had about me taking your pictures and how you would react?
Okay.
This is the exact thing happening again. And
okay.
See, it's like you're gonna create a stutter on me now.
Okay, my bad. He's not
All
nervous.
right, we're canceling this episode.
No, relax.
It's not that I'm not nervous. I am nervous, but I get past it when I feel like it's natural. If you keep addressing it, I'm going to react to it because I'm going to think like, oh shit, I didn't even notice,
Yeah, I get it.
You don't, because I've already explained this to you and here you are, making sure everyone knows that I'm nervous. Dude.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
I feel like having this conversation is making you less nervous.
Mm-mm. It's reminding me that I was nervous.
Okay, well, in my opinion, my professional opinion, as someone who has been with this man for almost 8 years, he definitely seems loosened up now, so yay.
You know what? Just make me angry. That's the easiest way to loosen me up. All right, start from the beginning.
That was the beginning. That was the warm-up.
That is not the warm-up.
That was the warm-up,
That is not the warm-up. Start from the beginning.
Yes, it was. We're keeping that.
We're not
clipping that.
We're not keeping that.
It was too good. I think it's good because we're showing people that, like, we're just two people who have no idea what the fuck we're doing trying to make a podcast. Like, I don't know. It's kind of inspiring. Like, maybe one day...
It's not that I'm nervous. It's that you beat me if I don't get this right.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm, like, scared of, like, being smacked and beaten, Oh,
I forgot about that part. You're totally right. Yeah, I will beat him after this, 100%.
Remember when, like, you're young and you're trying to learn your multiple times tables and...
your parents are yelling
just,
at
like,
you.
breathing down your neck and it just makes it worse. Yeah.
Like, what's 2 times 4? You're like crying. You're like,
it's 21.
We're 21 for 2 times 4. What's 9 plus 10? 21.
Also, I am gonna need the air on because it's getting hot in here.
That's fine. Go ahead and turn the air on. Oh my god, no. But seriously though, could we talk about how when I was a kid, like doing math with my parents was actually the worst thing in the entire world. Like some of my most traumatizing memories of like my parents losing their shit on me and me like crying were like having to do math homework at the end of
I think it's everyone.
Well, like, okay, first off, like I feel so bad because we're at school all day. We come home. We don't want to do more work. My mom and dad were working freaking 9 to 5s. They were fucking drained mentally.
Emotional punching bag?
Yeah, and literally just come home to some stupid dumbass kid being like, Mom, I don't know how to do my times tables. Like, bruh, honestly, I get why they yelled at me. Valid. Totally valid.
Based on the stories you give me, like, you were yelled at a lot throughout your entire life, so I don't think it was the timetables. I think it was just you.
Well, no, I was definitely like a little asshole at sometimes. Like definitely during the teen years, I 100% deserved to be yelled at. But when I was a kid, I don't know. Like I think it was just like hard for me to learn, and they were impatient. But I don't blame them because now I work a corporate 9 to 5, and I swear to God, if I had some little brat asking me to do its homework at the end of that,
you snap at Yoshi sometimes.
I was gonna say I lose my shit at the dog sometimes, like, and I feel bad. I'm like, damn it, like. But then again, Yoshi's not gonna grow up in 10 years and tell me a story about how I snapped at her for some dumb shit.
Oh my God, I just noticed. I'm that guy. Like, I am that child. If I don't get the audio right, you're like, what do you mean you didn't get the audio right? Bah. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm trying my best. I don't know what I'm doing. You shout out to all those, audio engineers and podcasters, because the more I do this, the more I realized it's a lot. It's a lot to do. You have to like understand how software, hardware, everything works together. It's annoying.
Honestly, Brando's really been putting in the work to make sure like our audio's been getting better.
Sophie's abuse helps.
Stop. I do not abuse you, okay? Yeah. It's a joke, okay? I do not abuse you, okay? Or maybe I abuse you just like the right amount, like the healthy amount.
The healthy amount?
That like lights a fire underneath you to make you want to do better. But like, it's not physical. I never put my hands on him unless he asks me to, which sometimes he does.
All right. Well, as you can tell, upgrades people. We've definitely done some research on what our audio was lacking. So hopefully this comes out sounding crisp and clear.
Yeah, hopefully this sounds better. Yeah. Also, podcast mics, are they sexist? Because getting my voice to sound decent on a podcast mic has been really hard. Brando has like this nice, deep, like manly podcast voice. So like, no matter what the setting is on, it sounds good for him. But for me, oh my God, I guess I'm just a nasally ass bitch because
you're just high and screechy.
Yeah. Also, I get excited and I talk really loud.
And I'm calm and cool and collected.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Brando
As you can see,
podcast.
That's why we go so well together, because he's calm and cool and collected, and I'm, I don't know, fiery and annoying and loud and crazy.
Loud. You're loud. That's what you are.
I've never shut the fuck up a day in my life. Truly.
Yeah, sometimes I have to give her like this look like, you've been talking for an hour. Breathe.
The first few times we filmed like test episodes for this podcast, like we would like rewatch them back and it would just be me talking and Brando just sitting there like
I'm also not used to being recorded this much. Like I don't even like my pictures being taken of. Okay, I don't.
Aww.
And now I'm here posting my life on on the internet. I'm like, ugh, it's nervous.
I know. He literally has a TikTok and he hasn't posted like one video. He doesn't. Guys.
I'm a lurker. Yeah, that's who I am.
He really is. Guys, Brando doesn't even have Instagram. Like
I don't have any social media.
He doesn't have any social media except TikTok, and that's it.
That's not even social media. That's just an excuse to watch random goofy videos.
Yeah.
Like the best example I have of my social media is probably my online gamer tag. Like I made a couple of friends, playing Call of Duty, and that's it.
Yeah, he really is like off the grid. He has like, even on TikTok, like I said, he has no like videos or anything. Like he doesn't have Facebook. If someone was trying to like look him up from high school or something, they genuinely would find nothing. They would,
and if you do, that's not me, someone else.
Yeah, like he doesn't exist on social media, which is another reason why when I met him, I was like, okay, I fuck with this, because I don't know, I feel like having a guy that's not on social media is like kind of a plus, because number one, he won't be messaging other girls like in their DMs.
No, I still do that, but I just don't. No, I don't use social media.
Oh yeah, totally.
Direct messaging, babe.
You're so dumb. But like obviously not that I think that he would ever do that, but when you're first getting to know someone and you hear that they don't have social media, you're like, okay, that's a green flag actually.
The only reason I don't have social media, it's very simple. I'm too lazy for it. I hate taking pictures of like my food. I just like to eat it. I hate posting what I'm doing. I'm just playing video games or watching anime. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not that interesting.
I think that's the thing though. You are that interesting, but you don't care to show other people online that you're interesting, which I admire about you.
I guess so. When I have like a good moment and, oh man, I wish people knew about this. I think it means a lot more to me when it's just between you and I.
Aww.
Yeah.
I kind of agree.
You're the complete opposite. You're like, I gotta let the hose know.
I gotta let the hose know.
I gotta flex.
I want to flex my food, my man, my pets, my outfit, my whatever. Like, I want to let the hose know. I seek validation from others.
That you do.
But also,
I don't need
like,
validation. But
also, like, it's a good way to... Also, like, I have a lot of friends on social media, too. Like, people that I've met, like, online, too, that I don't get to see all the time. And as you get older, it's hard to, like, keep in touch with people and, like, give people updates, like, obviously, day by day. So, like, I feel like social media is, like, a good thing for that as well.
Yeah, and to summarize... how I feel about it, like I love people who do it, because then I get to watch their lives and I'm like, ooh, I'm just lurking, I'm like,
oh yeah,
it's kind of like this conversation about being like people watching. It's the same thing.
Online people watching.
I'm a people watcher, but I don't like to post.
Dude, I love people watching.
So keep posting.
I love people watching in real life. Like whenever we go on vacation, like me and him will just like stop somewhere, like at a park or somewhere, and like we'll just sit there for like, you know, an hour or something, and just like literally watch people.
People are so weird.
Yeah, people are weird as fuck if you just watch them. Like it's
you
like,
watch long enough, you're gonna find the ones that don't have any social awareness.
Yeah, it's
Those are the
funny
best
because
ones.
it's one of those things where it's like people are like, oh, like if you're recording in public, who cares? Like, or if you're doing something in public and you think people are watching you, like nobody's actually looking at you, nobody's watching you. Like, who cares? I'm watching you.
I'm judging.
You should care. No, I'm kidding. Even if I saw you do some weird shit, I will forget about it 5 minutes later. But
I like watching people and going, girl, what's that top?
Yeah.
Ugh, it's not working for you.
Stop.
I'm
You're
kidding.
just so funny. No, but seriously, like if you're doing something weird in public, chances are I'm watching you do it. So be careful.
Chances are the video will get to me anyway, so I'm not even worried.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll see it on TikTok later. Just
Yeah.
kidding. I don't post like videos of random people on TikTok like that. I don't know. I feel like I don't like to record random
They
people.
record themselves. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Like, have you ever seen like a video on TikTok where clearly like somebody else is like recording? Like, remember the video of the guy on top of the police car who was like butt ass naked and like driving through the street?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, okay, that is something in
We
my
need a tech
opinion.
guy and we go like, oh, post a clip.
I was gonna say that's something that like you can record because obviously that man has lost all, you know, I guess like shame and dignity. Like he's literally naked on a police car, you know. But if someone's like, I don't know, eating a sandwich, like, you know, and they're wearing like a funny hat in public, like I think that's weird to record them. Like it's like just let that person live. You know, they're not asking to be recorded. But if you're naked on top of a police car, you don't give a fuck. You don't care if I record you. I think that's the least of your problems. Not that I think I would. I probably would just be like, you know, wow, I can't believe that happened. And then like call you and tell you that I saw that. But yeah, this is a weird tangent we just went on. I feel like we just went from you being nervous to social media.
We're cutting that out. I'm not leaving that in.
Oh, shut up. We're keeping that in.
Definitely feel more loose now. We're back on track.
Yeah, we're back on track. But I did want to talk about, just to kind of start off the episode, Anime Expo is like 4 weeks-ish away, like just about. I think, yeah, about 4 weeks. I need to fucking get it going. I need to get a move on. I'm so behind.
Have you finished any of your cosplays?
I haven't finished a single cosplay.
That worries me.
And it's stressing me out because...
We made it a goal this year to get all this done way in advance. So far, we're failing. We're failing miserably.
We're failing miserably,
Yeah.
like absolutely miserably. I even made a TikTok calling people out, being like, "Don't wait to the last minute." That TikTok, by the way, was mostly for me. It literally was for me, and it's funny because it kind of went viral, so I get notified on it like often, and I like see the notification pop up on like that video, and it's literally like traumatizing myself and I'm like, oh my god, you're right, like past Sophie, I need to hurry up, like, oh my god, you're right, like, so I'm literally reminded like multiple times a day by me yelling at myself in that TikTok, and I'm just like, okay, every cosplay I currently have is at like 25%.
Yeah.
Also,
but
sorry if you hear our dog in the background. He's playing with the squeaky toy, which he never does.
Don't apologize. Told you being cute.
I know, but it's
Do
just
you,
funny
boo.
because
Do you,
normally
boo.
he's afraid of squeaky toys. Like he actually, like if you squeak a toy at him, he'll like freak out and run
Not
away.
normally. He
Sometimes.
started off being afraid of squeaky toys.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him when he was rescued, but if you were to squeak it near him, he would panic and like run away.
Yeah.
But now he's a cute little pupper. Look at him.
Now he's being really cute and playing with it, but of course it's when we're recording. Like, you know, he would never do this when we're not recording.
Throughout our podcasting career, you're gonna hear Yoshi ask to be let out. You're gonna hear, rattle, scratching.
Yeah, you're gonna hear Yoshi's nails, her long ass freaking acrylic doggy nails on the linoleum floor.
Acrylic.
Yoshi has the longest freaking nails, like, and it sucks because, you know, they're like, oh my god, why are your dog's nails so long? Like, you need to cut them. Her, like, the pink part of her nail is like too long. If I were to cut it the appropriate length, I would be cutting her skin. So they're just naturally long. Not to mention that cutting this dog's nails is like the most traumatic experience for everyone. Would you agree?
We already had a terrible experience just taking her to the vet, professionally done.
Yeah.
Like she was thrashing and, she basically yanked off her nail.
Yeah, so
as they were trying to cut it.
we took,
Yeah.
okay, so we tried cutting them ourselves. She ain't gonna let that happen. She thrashes around. She acts like we're branding her, like with a hot iron. So I was like, okay, let's take her to the vet and have them do a professional. They're professionals. It's only $20, like whatever. We take her to the vet, and it's been like, you took her, and it was like 45 minutes later.
Yeah, usually it just takes about 15, maybe 10 minutes, and she's out, and we're in and out quick. So at the 20-minute mark, I'm asking myself, something's wrong. Like, either they're really busy, they forgot about Yoshi, or they're just taking their sweet time, maybe training someone now. But then the doctor comes out, like the vet, like the main honcho
Not
dude.
the technician.
Not the
vet.
technician. You know, this guy's looking at me like, so listen, it was an accident. And I'm here like, oh, why am I not surprised? That's the funny
Yeah.
part. It's not like
It's not even surprising.
Yeah. And he told me straight out she was thrashing around and she managed to get herself caught in the harness that they use and yank one of her nails straight out.
Yeah, so
So-
she literally ripped her nail off.
Yeah.
Like her, and
Girl's
it was
crazy.
her dew claw. So like not the fore, but the thumb that's like on the side of their paw. Sometimes well, back when I was growing up, my parents, when we had dogs with dew claws, we would get them removed, like surgically. Just because I guess they're prone to like getting caught on things.
There
hence
you go.
this.
Mm-hmm.
And some dew claws can be definitely more protruding than others. Yoshis aren't too bad, so we haven't gotten them like taken off of her or anything. Like they're not super protruding, but in this case, clearly she proved me wrong. She
Yeah.
literally ripped her dew claw off. And the vet like not only like came out and like charged us for the nail trim, but then we had to pay for like the medicine and the antibiotics for her nail because it's one of those things where it was like, if Yoshi was like a normal dog with getting her nails cut, I would have been like, what the fuck, like I'm not paying for that. But unfortunately
We understood.
She's a fucking
Yeah.
menace. I'm sure she made it incredibly impossible for them. And even, it was an accident. Like, I don't blame them at all. She's horrible cutting her nails. So I just, like, took the L, and we paid for it. And luckily, her nail grew back. But,
It grows up like super fast.
her nails grow
Yeah,
super
she's fine.
fast, too. Because I have her on, like, supplements that are supposed to be good for her nails and her skin.
Yeah, maybe let's get her off that.
If I don't, she's going to scratch herself to death, which she still
Yoshi
does.
is the bane of my existence. She sheds so much. Like, I vacuum, 3 hours later, we have a new carpet. The dog is loud. She's part hound, so all she does is howl and a roo.
Yeah, she's not low maintenance, but she's not low maintenance, but she's not too high maintenance.
She's mid maintenance. That's fine.
Yeah, it's just her hair gets everywhere. Which, okay, sorry, segue. Going into why I haven't started any of my cosplay stuff is because if I just like, when you start working on your cosplay stuff, you kind of like set it up all around, the apartment or the house or whatever. I don't want her hair to get on everything, so I don't want to like set it all up and then put it all away and set it all up and put it all away. So I haven't started anything. Everything, like I said, is at 25%. I still need to do the wigs for every single cosplay. I still need to order a wig. I'm hoping that my cosplay contacts come in time. I ordered them in time, but I'm hoping they come in time because who knows these days. I still need to go to the fabric store. I still need to sew a bunch of items. Like, I'm sewing a couple items from scratch, and my sewing skills are definitely rusty. It's been a while. I'm going to be using my mom's sewing machine. I have a sewing machine, but it needs to be maintenance, and I haven't had the time to go get it maintenance yet because finding a sewing machine maintenance person is apparently a dying art, and the only closest one is like 45 minutes away, and that's without traffic. So with traffic, that's probably like an hour and a half. So yeah, I'm not doing okay. On top of that, I want to stay on top of TikTok content, podcasting, editing, and my 9 to 5.
Or jobs, yeah.
It's been a little stressful to say the least, and you're probably like, Sophie, why didn't you just start in advance?
Yeah. Good question.
I wish I could tell you, because unfortunately I'm programmed in a way that if I'm doing something at the last minute, it lights a fire underneath me and makes me want to get it done. And also, I didn't even know what I wanted to cosplay 2 months ago. So yeah,
We'll figure it out. Somehow,
we'll figure
every
it
year we
out.
do the exact same thing and we still make it work. So I'm not too worried.
Yeah, that's true. And also, like, I'm trying to keep it, like, kind of under budget, which is stupid because I don't think I've ever heard of any cosplay actually.
That just means you are wearing less. Ooh.
Well, one of my cosplays, okay, so this is another thing too, is, and I feel like I'm yapping about this a lot, but
It's okay.
I've been like in the process of losing weight. So I didn't know what my body was going to look like 2 months ago to when I could have started planning. If I wasn't, happy with how my body looked, I probably would have gone something like a little more covered up or conservative, if I was like feeling like insecure about my stomach area or something like that. Whereas not to toot my horn, I look good. Would you agree?
Yeah, and it's rubbing off on me. Like, we've been eating healthy, we've been watching our calories, and I feel like personally it's also like affecting me. Like,
Yeah.
I feel a little bit less like pudgy.
Yeah. So we both look good. I'm happy with my body and how it looks. So I kind of want to do a skimpier cosplay. I don't want to reveal what it is just in case I don't end up doing it because I run out of time or something. Because, like, I don't want to set the expectation or, like, put it out there and then not do it. But long story short...
I wouldn't say skimpier. I would say more classical anime.
Oh, definitely. Well, yeah. No, it's a classical anime. And, the girl I'm cosplaying is definitely, like, a hottie with a body, waifu. And I've always wanted to do her cosplay, but I just never had like the skills or the time or the funds.
Or the body.
No, I had the body at one point, I feel like. Not in the past few years, but now I feel like I do. So, yeah, now I really want to do it.
Now you really want to do it.
Yeah, like I feel like a lot more secure with how I look. But I need to like hop on it and get it done. But, we are going to be house sitting for my parents in like a few days, and we're going to be there for 10 days. And they have like a whole ass house. My mom has a craft room, which I helped her organize and kind of set up.
For your own devious purposes.
Yes, for my own cosplay purposes. So once we get there, I'm going to start working on the props, the wigs, and the sewing. And I'm hoping I can knock out as much as I can in those 10 days. Like, if I can just finish the props and the sewing, and then I can do the wigs at home, like here, I would be set. But we'll see. I still have to go get some stuff. Like I said, I have to go to the fabric store, and now Joann's is closed down, so I have to go. Luckily, thank goodness, we live in a populated city, like, or a populated county, which has like multiple, types of fabric stores. We don't live in the middle of nowhere, so I can go there. But yeah, there's just a lot going on. What are your thoughts on Anime Expo being in 4 weeks? How are you feeling? Are you feeling more confident than I am?
The only stress from my experience comes from just you trying to get your cosplays ready. I'm good. I'm probably going to do some light cosplaying. I definitely want to do something more like open, because I remember the last couple of years have been really hot. Mm-hmm. So I want to wear some shorts, maybe something like a tank top, and do like a low budget Luffy cosplay, something like that.
That'd be cute.
I'd be super cute. And
you still need, sorry, not pause, but
okay,
you need to get blue overalls.
Yeah. No, of course. I still have to. I also have to do some planning, and purchasing and budgeting, whatever. But what I was gonna say, with anime becoming more and more popular, like I pitched the idea of having like a anime thrift store, like an anime cosplay thrift store.
Yeah.
I'm like, we need a place where we can all like gather and get this shit done, because we don't have anything. We have like, so many thrift stores, so many secondhand stores, but we don't have one dedicated for the cosplayer community.
Yes, and I have so many cosplays in my closet that I don't want to donate to Goodwill because I'm afraid, number one, that they're going to get separated, like the pieces. Yeah. And number two, that like people just aren't going to get it,
Think Halloween store, but just exclusive anime,
Yeah, like I would love for my cosplays that I'm probably not going to wear anytime soon to go to somebody who actually like, fucks with it, like wants to cosplay that. Mm-hmm. And, I feel like a cosplay thrift store, even like an online, like, cosplay thrift store, like a Poshmark or something like that, but just for cosplays would be so cool. So if anybody out there is listening to that idea and wants to take it from us and monetize and make it a thing, we're giving this to you on a silver platter. It's all yours. Mm-hmm. Please just let us know when it happens so
not just Anime Expo. Like there's a lot of conventions that happen throughout the year. We have like Anime Impulse,
Comic-Con,
like,
WonderCon.
Anime is becoming so popular that you always see anime characters in these conventions all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And like people, you know, especially if you've been cosplaying for 10 plus years, like I have, we have a lot of wigs and costumes. Like we, you know, would love to put that back in the community for other people to use, but we're not, you know, like I said, the problem with me is I'm not just going to like donate it and let it get lost in a Goodwill and somebody not appreciate it. Like I want it to be, you know, recycled and used by the community. So, hey, maybe that's something. If nobody starts it, maybe we can start it. Maybe that can be our thing.
We have a lot going on, so
I know.
maybe
I was gonna say, let's get through Anime
wait
Expo first.
yeah.
Like, be so for real. Like, truly. I'm so excited, though.
We smell good cosplays.
Aw, that'd
Aw,
be cute. We
it's
smell
adorable.
good cosplays. But I'm so excited for Anime Expo. I don't know about you. I need this. This is like the vacation I'm looking forward to. I don't know if you feel the same.
I am happy to be away from Yoshi for a while. And
Stop being mean to
sleeping
her.
in. No, one of my favorite things about Anime Expo though is before it even starts, it's like a ritual at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We go to the same Japanese izakaya, and we order the exact same thing.
We get the same thing every time.
And it's like it sets our bodies in the Anime Expo mood. Like
Yes.
it literally triggers our dormant cells to be like, we're on vacation.
Yeah, it literally sets the tone for the rest of Anime Expo. And Anime Expo really is like our trip of the year.
Yeah.
Well, probably not this year because money is a little tight, but every year we normally take a trip for our birthdays. We don't. Also, okay, so every year we take a trip for our birthdays. By the way, we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We celebrate Christmas, but we don't get each other gifts. We also don't celebrate our anniversary. The reason being is because money. I honestly feel, well, I don't know.
You made it sound super grim. I think what you're trying to say is that we do celebrate them, but we compile all these dates into one big trip.
Yeah.
That's what
exactly.
you're trying to say.
So
you're making it sound like, oh,
no, yeah. Like I know.
like, okay.
That's why I was like kind of backpedaling a little
Yeah,
bit. I
she
was like,
beats me.
hold on. No, and I didn't want it to be like sound like me just saying it and you not agreeing with it because it is a mutual thing. But yes, so on Valentine's Day, like we don't go out to dinner, we don't do anything fancy. He just gets me flowers because you know that's the nice thing to do. By the way, he gets me flowers literally like multiple times throughout the year, like all the time. Like there's almost always flowers in the house, so like you know. That's why I'm kind of like, whatever, like getting them on Valentine's Day. Yes, we celebrate. No, we don't kind of thing.
In addition to all that, I get you gifts throughout the year. And, and like, I'm sorry, I could save those gifts for these dates, or I can just give it to you as soon as it gets here.
Exactly.
Because like, I remember getting your Nana vinyl record, your G Fuel Miku set box, and I don't wait till Christmas to give. I just like, here you go, it's here, enjoy.
Exactly. And same thing with Christmas. We don't get each other gifts on Christmas just because we spend a lot of money getting like family members, like mom, dad, brothers, sisters, other people in the family gifts that we don't want to like force each other and basically waste money to force each other to get a gift just because it's Christmas. Like he said, we give each other gifts multiple times throughout the year. Like we don't need Christmas.
Also, we're like really grown adults. If I want something, I'm gonna get it.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna wait to Christmas for you to like, hey, can you get me this for just I'm gonna get it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'm gonna buy it right now. And also another thing too is we live in a 1-bedroom apartment. We don't have a lot of space, unfortunately. Like everything in here is like kind of filled to the brim already. So we kind of came to the agreement is like, we don't want more stuff in the apartment.
We don't want more useless stuff.
We don't want more useless stuff. Like you know, we love our figurines, we love our trinkets, we love our, you know, the lightsaber you have or the law sword, you know, like that are like life size or whatever. Like we love those things, but unfortunately, like we just don't have room for those things right now. Like down the line, if we ever get a bigger place, like maybe we can open up like types of gifts like that from each other again. But right now, like if we do gift each other stuff, it's definitely not big items because we have nowhere to put it. So that's another reason. And then we don't celebrate our anniversary because for the longest time, before we got married, we didn't even have an anniversary. We couldn't even pinpoint when we started dating. We just kind of started dating and calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend, and you know, that was just how it happened. Like there was no specific date. And also with anniversaries in the past, at least for me in past relationships, like there was kind of always a lot of pressure because it would fall on a certain date. And like life doesn't give a fuck, by the way, when your anniversary is. So you could be having the worst week ever, you know, at work or at school, and then your anniversary falls on that week, you know? So that's why I kind of was just like, I don't want an anniversary. I don't want to have to like worry about, you know, some made up like date that doesn't even exist and celebrate the fact that, you know, we've been together for X amount of years, when every single day, you know, we're basically happy and celebrating that we're together. Like, I don't need a date to tell me that. That's how I feel about it. What about you?
Well, I don't overanalyze it as much as you, like, to that extent. The way I see it is that we do celebrate our anniversary, like, in our yearly trips. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like, in
like,
my mind,
yes.
right, I pile all these dates that are just everywhere. And we focus it all on our birthdays.
Yes.
When we go out to dinner and we have a nice restaurant to enjoy, we don't have to wait for the anniversary. We can just go straight to it and enjoy it.
Yep.
With that being said, getting back on track, the only reason we are struggling to consider any form of trip this year is the economy, the current political, socioeconomic state of the world. Let's be real.
Okay, Jaden
Travel,
Smith.
yeah, dude. Can we talk? Traveling right now is definitely it's difficult.
Yeah, but we don't have to get into that. But we normally, like he said, we go all out for birthdays. Like, we ball out for birthdays. We take a trip. We spend a lot of money. Like, everything we would spend probably throughout the year on Valentine's Day and anniversary on Christmas, we just throw into our birthdays. And our birthdays are far enough apart. Like, his is in October and mine's in February, that we can, like, save up throughout the year and, like, be able to, like, you know, spend that money for a birthday.
Agreed, yeah.
But this year, unfortunately, like, you know, the economy's not doing good. Money's a little tight.
We might have to be on safe mode.
We're going to still do something nice, but,
Of course.
you know, I don't think we're going to take, like, an extravagant trip like we normally do.
Yeah.
I say extravagant trip, and it's literally just like 1 year we went to New York, 1 year we went to Chicago, 1 year we went to San Diego. Like, that's what we mean, by the way, when we say extravagant trip. Like, we're not going to Fiji.
Well, eventually we will, you know?
Eventually.
Like, we start local first to get our, like, traveling muscles, you know, working.
Yeah.
But that is the goal, to travel the rest of the world.
Of
you know,
course.
Japan, Europe, all these places that have amazing cities.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's kind of like the theme, too. Like, we love to visit cities.
We love cities. We are city people, 100%.
City boy?
We are city people. I love going to cities. I think Chicago's been my favorite so
Chicago
far.
is hard to beat. It's so
Yeah.
hard to beat. The infrastructure, the people, the food.
The
oh, man.
architecture. Oh my
I'll
god.
give every city like some pointers. Like, for example, in my opinion, San Francisco was really big.
I love San Francisco. It was
And
beautiful.
their whole theme of being like surrounded by a body of water. I think New York and Chicago have that, but in the sense, San Francisco, it's just like a bunch of little islands.
You feel it more in San Francisco.
The bridges
Yeah.
connect everything. They're huge. Yeah, we can do another podcast episode about the trips we've taken so far, and I can tell when we get to the point where we travel the rest of the world, we're just gonna get our minds blown.
Yeah, definitely. But where were we starting on this with the whole we don't celebrate?
Yeah, we might not be doing
whatevers?
a birthday trip this year. The economy is not looking too good.
Yeah, so we'll probably skip on the birthday trip, and I think this year though we're just gonna focus
On
like,
Anime Expo.
On Anime
we're
Expo.
gonna make Anime Expo even a bigger deal than it has been for the last couple of years. So we're
Yeah.
gonna splurge out. We're gonna be eating like kings. We're gonna be having, you know, the best time of our lives. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, even, you know, because we've been together for almost 8 years now. So even before we started taking trips for our birthday and whatnot, like, we've been going to Anime Expo every single year together. And it is a vacation for us. I know Anime Expo is like a lot, and some people might not even consider it a vacation, because I feel like vacations, some people consider them as like relaxing, where
I
they go
agree
to
with
relax.
that. I agree with that sometimes. After like I come back from Anime Expo, I'm like, bro, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come back
you
in
need
a
you need a vacation for your vacation.
Yes, it is a vacation, and it is a way to like blow off steam and relax, because you're literally just there like nerding out and like just in your element and having such a good time, being surrounded by like-minded people and seeing cool cosplays and panels, and it is a vacation, but it is definitely one of those vacations where you need a vacation after the vacation. So
The amount of steps we do. Oh my
dude,
god.
we do like 20,000 steps a day.
A day.
Like minimum. It's insane how many steps we do there. And it's crazy because when we're in it, it feels like nothing.
Yeah.
It really feels like nothing.
You don't feel it.
You don't feel it.
You're too happy. You're too
Unless
excited.
you're wearing uncomfortable shoes. Then you're feeling it. But
Yeah,
that's why you
it's true.
always bring a pair of like slides or slippers or something. Don't go barefoot. Don't be like that. Nobody wants to see them grippers out. But
Respectfully, if I see a cosplayer barefoot, I secretly understand. Like, you have to at that point. Like, the amount of pain you're in, though.
well, okay. If it's
baby, I've seen your feet after you've worn those heels covered in blisters, and I'm like, why?
okay, listen. Yes. Oh, sorry, I just hit that. Yes. If they're barefoot because their initial shoes they wore hurt them. But
that
if
is-
they're pulling up barefoot just to be barefoot,
Trust me,
that's a no.
you know when the girl is in obvious pain when she's carrying the heels and
definitely.
she's given up. She's like, I can't wear them anymore.
Absolutely.
I'm like-
And that's fine. I fuck with that. It is what it is. Survival of the fittest queen. It's the people who show up to the con because, you know, their character's barefoot,
Oh,
so they
yeah,
need to be
yeah,
barefoot. And I'm
okay.
like, there's ways to do that without being gross. I don't want to see them.
I don't think it bothers me as much as you because in my mind, I'm wearing shoes. It's not like I'm going to get their foot fungus on me.
Totally.
You know, like I'm good.
But I'm feeling grossed out on behalf of them. Because I see what the streets of downtown LA look like, and I see
You know what?
people.
To me, it's the smell. The smell I can't
No.
handle.
We'll get to that. But think about it. I'm wearing shoes.
Yeah.
I just walked around the streets of downtown LA, and now I'm walking on the convention floor where their bare foot is touching that.
That's so bold.
That's what I mean.
That's scary.
That's what I mean.
You're a different person.
Like,
You're a
they're
different
getting
beast.
Hep C or something because
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like, no thank you. I would never. And if
See, you're picturing the person walking barefoot on the streets of LA, and I'm picturing them walking barefoot inside the convention, and I'm thinking, yeah, you're right. There's like a huge difference.
I
there.
don't think they're walking barefoot on the streets of LA.
I don't think so either.
I
That's
think they're
gross.
bringing shoes and then taking them off in the con,
think
which
that's
I
what I'm-
still think is societally illegal.
I guess so.
Because, like I just said, I'm walking with shoes on the street,
Yeah.
on the con floor, and then they're walking barefoot on the con floor with their bare feet. Like, no. No. Like, and there's ways to do cosplays with characters that might be barefooted. Like, I've done it, where I literally wore white socks, doubled up white socks, and then tights underneath so that it looks like my feet were, you know, barefoot. But I technically had like double socks as my shoes.
You know what I thought? I thought of another good idea for Anime Expo. Like, if anybody from Anime Expo is running the show, consider having like lockers. Like lockers you can just rent and leave, you know, extra shoes, extra clothes, whatever. And you don't have to like go all the way back to your hotel to, you know, get comfortable. Because after a while, it's too much, you know?
I want to say that that was a thing in the past. I don't know if they still do it. I'm honestly like 80% sure.
It's easily like the most profitable thing they can do nowadays because you're just carrying so much.
Depends on how much. If it was like $10 a day, yeah, easy.
How was that? In my opinion, that's too much. Like $5 a day, you know?
They're not going to charge $5 because think about it. Okay, the problem with that, and it's kind of a problem, not really. Is
Disneyland does it.
Liability. Disneyland got the money. They got the mouse money.
And you don't think Anime
They got
Expo,
generational mouse money.
the convention center, has the money to do that?
I'm sure they do,
I think they do.
but I don't think they're going to spend it on that because like I said, liability. If somebody comes in and breaks in and steals stuff, whew, like, you know.
That's why they have the disclaimer. Like,
I was
we're
going to
not-
say, they'll
yeah.
probably make you sign a waiver or something.
It's public knowledge that if your car gets broken into, it's not the responsibility of the infrastructure to pay for the damages. It's just kind of like you sign up for it.
I get it. I like I said,
Long story short,
they might have it.
Long
they did in
story
the
short,
past, I'm pretty sure.
I think we had a conversation about this before. How I feel like going to Anime Expo yearly, you could do so much to improve the experience. That's it.
Yeah, of course.
Do more.
Every year they do a little bit better. Is it the amount of better that I wish? No, but they do better every year. I have to hand them that. Like, people have to remember, this is a really big convention, okay? Like, thousands of people are pulling up to this convention.
From all over the world.
From all over the world. So there's only so much they can do. Stuff that they do at smaller cons, they can't always achieve at cons like Anime Expo because of how big it is, unfortunately. Just, you know, they also probably have the money to do certain things that smaller cons can't do. and maybe they choose not to do them for whatever reason. I'm not really defending that. I'm just saying that, you know, I see a lot of people complaining online about, you know, some stuff like crowds or lines and, you know, stuff like that for Anime Expo. And I'm like, yeah, like, but you have to remember, this is like a really big convention, like really big, you know, like this is just kind of how it is. And it's not like it was back when I first started going in 2017. Don't get me wrong, it was still really big then.
Can you explain what you mean by that? I think I'm getting a little confused. You're saying it is. Like, what do you mean?
Like, that's just how it is. Like, you're not going to get rid of lines. You're not going to get rid of crowds because there's so many people there.
But you can be more efficient.
Yeah, and they have been getting more efficient over the years.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think people are expecting, like, maximum efficiency when it's, like, logistically impossible given the amount of people there.
I agree with that. I can see what you're saying, but also I don't want to give the companies too much credit because they do nothing about it. You can always improve.
I agree. I completely agree. I'm going to argue and say I don't think they do nothing about it. I do think that there always is room for improvement and that they could potentially do more. But I think that they have improved drastically over the years with how much the con has grown.
Since we've been going, every year I feel like the lines are better. Mm-hmm. I feel like maybe not...
it's more organized.
I was going to say like more organized, but primarily it feels like people are getting the hang of it. Because as an attendee... when you first go there, you don't know what to do. You kind of create a little bottleneck effect, just being lost. But now you know how one of my favorite things that they did is the connecting corridors, right? Now they have a two-way method where the right side is going that way, and it works wonderfully. Before, there wasn't that system in place, so we were just crashing against each other.
Yeah, it was trying very to walk around, trying to get from the exhibitor hall to the entertainment hall.
Exactly.
And then they separated that hallway to make it people going this way.
That tiny change
this way
made everything flow so much more smoothly.
Yes, 100%. It totally cleared up the bottleneck. And like I said, a lot of these things are trial and error. So, you know, and you have to remember too, like when anime like first started becoming popular, a lot more people started attending this con. Like it's not the small con that it used to be. So it takes them year after year to learn and adjust. If it was like year after year and they were getting worse and worse and worse, then I would understand. But, you know, from someone who's been there, you know, since 2017, I do think it's gotten better. I really do. I think that they're trying their best, and they should be trying their best. And I do think they want to try their best because it is a liability thing. You know, they don't want people crowding the hallways like that because then the fire marshal gets called and then they have to shut the event down kind of thing. So they are doing what they can, you know, for a con that is as big as it is. Is it ever going to be perfect? I doubt it. That's just how it is. There's too many people. There is too many people. It will never be perfect. But yeah, I do think they do a good job. Like, I have to hand it to them. Because when I first went in 2017, the first time I ever went to Anime Expo, I stood in line for 3 hours on day one. For 3 hours. By the way, 2017 Anime Expo tickets, I think, were $60 or $70 for a 4-day pass. Yeah.
Also, what was the temperature?
That year it was probably in the 80s, probably 80s, 90s. So we stood in line on day one for 3 hours with a line that wrapped around into the neighborhoods around the convention center. I was standing in front of people's houses, like waiting to get in line to this thing.
That's
crazy.
It
was atrocious. It was a mess. Luckily, I went with my sister. It was just me and her. I was wearing a light cosplay. I was dressed as Kagome from Inuyasha, and I had my yellow backpack, so, you know, I had stuff on me. And we had, what's that game on the phone?
Heads Up?
Heads Up. Yeah, we were playing Heads Up, and it was fine. And we had chargeable batteries because we're smart like that. But once we got in, though, day 2, 3, and 4, we had no problems. We literally got in right away. The years after that, 2018 and 2019, 2018 was a little bit better. I think that was the year they had the heat wave where it was literally like 100 degrees. Mm-hmm. And they made sure that like the lines were a lot better because they knew if they fucked that up, people would be outside like passing out.
I think
I
started going
in
2018. Yeah. And I never experienced that. I think the longest we've ever waited in a line personally, it's an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, an hour to get in. And was that year or was it the year after?
The point is, 3 hours in line, that's insane.
3 hours in line in
Yeah, it
2017
should never
was
get
crazy.
that bad.
It was insane. I promise you, if you're thinking about going to Anime Expo, it's not like that anymore. They've 100% cleared that up. They have multiple entrances. Like, it will never be like that again, in my opinion. Like, there's just no way. Like, they've gotten so much shit in the past for that, and they've just, like, back then I think there was only one entrance. Now there's like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So they're just never gonna run into that issue again. I just don't think they will.
I will keep the best entrance for sure.
Yeah, I won't. I'll tell you. The best entrance is not the one in the front of the convention
It never
center.
is. That's the worst one.
It never is. That's always the worst. Not even the worst one, but that's not the
The
one
longest
you want
one
to
is
go
what I
to.
wanna
That's going to
say.
be the quote-unquote longest.
Yeah.
The best one to go in is the one that's like right across from the parking structure. Like we're
right
on,
next to the,
I think it's Pico Boulevard where they literally block off that street.
Right next to the crypto arena.
Next to the crypto arena, like right under the overpass.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best.
It connects directly into the beer garden too, so you can just you can see the decorations and you know exactly where you are.
Yep, and when you enter, you'll be right next to the entertainment hall.
When we do our like full-fledged Anime Expo podcast, we'll tell you the plugs.
Yeah, we're gonna plan for next week, I think, to tell you all of our like tips and tricks for attending Anime Expo, because it really is something where the first time you attend, you're not going to have like the full-on experience that you could have had, because there is some like veteran knowledge that you do need to have to be able to like navigate this con, because it's a beast. It's literally a beast.
We're going to format that episode like we're talking to someone who is considering going and hasn't gone before.
Yeah. Like this con is not your normal con. It's a beast.
Yeah.
It's huge. You need to know the ins and the outs. Like, it's just, it makes it, every year we go, it's smoother and smoother sailing because we know what to prepare for and we know what to do. So, if you can look up some stuff on TikTok or online, or if you want to stay tuned for our podcast next week, we will drop all the tea, all the details, everything you need to know, everything you need to bring, everything you need to watch out for. Like, we got you, because we've been doing this for long enough. We basically have it down to a science, I would say. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and fingers crossed that I get my cosplays done in time, because cutting it close. I did want to talk about something though, changing the subject.
Okay.
I saw that the Switch 2 is out.
Oof.
How are we feeling? Tell me your thoughts on the Switch 2.
I have a lot. Personally, I feel like the Switch 2 came out way too soon. Like, compared to the time it takes for a console to be developed. Maybe that's just my personal thought. I feel like we were fine with just the Switch, but whatever. Upgrades people. But they're getting carried away. Online, you constantly see people complain about how greedy Nintendo is.
Yes, because they are.
we keep buying their shit. We keep buying it. We keep feeding the beast and expecting things to change. It's called insanity. What are you doing?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, what is Mario Kart, like $90 or something?
The Nintendo Switch 2 games starting $80 right now. So we don't really know how far they're gonna go and how much they're gonna get away with. Not only that, the biggest what's the word I'm looking for?
Gripe
that we have with Nintendo is you're not buying the game, you're buying the license to have it in your Switch.
That
you don't
right there.
own the physical copy, you don't own the digital copy. You basically, if you spit in Nintendo's face, they can switch off. They can break your Nintendo Switch 2 and you just have a useless console. They can kill your console remotely.
I completely agree with that. I think that that's actually disgusting, and probably the reason why I won't be buying a Switch 2. Also because we still have I have a Switch Lite, we have a Switch. We like them. We're not needing to upgrade. There is nothing I saw from this. I'm going to be so for real. Keep it 100. I don't know the difference. What is the difference? What does the Switch 2 do that ours doesn't do?
The Switch isn't a perfect console. They did upgrade the controllers. You know how much fucking...
Yeah, the drift, whatever.
Dude,
okay.
We sent our controllers to get repaired through Nintendo. They paid for everything. And I swear to God, they just gave us back the same controllers.
Yeah, they still drifted when they came back.
And then they're asking for a survey, like, how did we do? I'm like, I'm losing my mind. They made a more clear screen, I guess. Like it's now more advanced.
You don't even know, do you?
I do know. There's a comparison video out there that has like the Switch and the Switch 2. They look the fucking same. It's like barely any difference.
Corporate wants you to tell the difference between these two photos.
You ever seen like Last of Us remasters and there's like
my
before
God,
and after
yes,
and there's like a
yes.
small change that you're like, okay, cool, it's a little clearer.
So is that all it does? Is just the
No,
screen?
it's definitely more advanced. There's a better processor, there's a better battery life, there's better heating functions. The console itself is better, but at what cost? You're paying what, 500 something more for a new console. The games are more expensive. You don't really own the physical game anymore. Like they've made sure that the reason the Switch 2 exists is so they can profit more.
I don't understand how poorly their company has to be ran to where they are struggling with profits.
Oh no, they are not struggling with profits. They're making record-breaking profits. Nintendo is one of the biggest conglomerates in the world, like worldwide.
Yeah.
Like it competes with, Sony and Xbox for a reason.
Okay, the part that like kills me is the fact that you don't own the physical copies. That's insane to me. Like because think about it. Like I still have like my old gaming consoles, like my Game Boy SP, my PS2, my Wii. I can play those games until, the cows come home because I own the physical copies.
I'm not sure this is true either, but if it loses like internet connection, like you can't use it at all.
What do you mean?
It needs to have a constant internet connection.
Oh, the Switch 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I don't know if that's true, but
that'd be crazy if that.
But I know for a fact. For example, you have a game in your system, right? And you have a friend that wants to borrow it. Can't do that.
Yeah.
That's how they make more money. Now they both have to buy it.
And that's crazy because it's one of those things where that's what made people want to, buy and try and buy. Like, what happened to that? Where you borrow your friend's game and then your friend's like, bro, give me the game back. Like, I want to play. And then you're like, damn, okay, I need to buy my own kind of thing. Like, they're just like taking away what really makes it like the OG gaming experience, like of being like a gamer, especially like with like stuff we used to do back in the day. And they're just being so greedy about it. Like, honestly, I probably won't touch this console or the games just based off of principle. And also because I already have a Switch, I'm happy with the games that we have on there. I don't feel the need to, play something that, is 10% better with a better screen or whatever. It doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, the only way I would consider buying this console, it's if they like give the power back to the consumers,
Yeah.
Like I want to have a physical copy. I want to own at least the digital copy. I don't want to own the license to
it.
it.
And it's
What does that
crazy because
mean?
Nintendo fans are so loyal. Can you imagine if they actually were, innovative and made stuff with their fans in mind? Think about it. They treat their fans like shit, and the fans come back and eat it up every single time. Imagine how much more successful they would be if they actually gave a shit about their fan base. Like,
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. It's like, you want to see record profits? Give a shit. That's what I don't get about these companies. It's like, if you just show...
I think you said it very clearly just there. The record profits. They're constantly breaking the records.
they really want to break records.
Think
Show
about
us
this.
you give a shit.
Think about this. Nintendo owns Pokemon. And how crazy and feral do these scalpers go?
Oh, don't even get me started
when
on
they
that.
when they release the latest set.
Don't even get...
You've seen the videos. It's so bad.
I so badly want to see that bubble pop. I want so badly for everybody who is buying up these stupid fucking Pokemon cards that are for fucking kids to lose their investment tenfold. I want to see people lose millions because I'm tired of this shit. It is ruining.
Slow down. So
It's ruining it.
the people that are ruining it are these scalpers.
Yes.
Are these people that, show up day one, they buy this in bulk just to resell it for a slight higher profit.
That's what I mean.
I understand the whole appeal of, you buy a pack and see what you pull. If you get lucky, you get a good pull. Maybe this card is worth some money. Like that part I understand.
That part's fine. It's the scalpers.
It's the scalpers that always ruining it for everyone else. When the PS5 came out,
They ruined it.
they ruined it.
Yep.
They bought this
You know
brand
what's
new
crazy?
console and made it impossible for the people like myself who really wanted it to get access to it, because they have like the software that can remotely buy this in like constant, you know.
It's bots and what,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy is someone who works on the brand side of things. Like, you know, what I do for work is I work for a company. We sell a product. I work on the brand side. These companies have the ability and the control to limit purchases so that stuff like that, scalpers and bots and all that, it doesn't happen. Not only do they have the power to limit purchases, they have the power to identify whether or not you are a bot. So if you're buying something, like, it's not just like buying it to scalp it. These companies don't fucking care because they're getting the money anyway. That's what's the most disgusting part about it, is they don't give a fuck. They have the ability to stop it. They have the manpower. They have the tech. They can do it, but they don't, because they don't care who buys it, because they don't care about
just
you.
care that they buy
just
it.
care about money.
And that's exactly what's happening with the Switch too. The
Yep.
lines day one when it was you know, fully released, these lines were going around the stores.
Well, I saw them. I saw Costco was selling them, and they had like no lines for Costco to get the Switch. But then again, I guess it just depends on the area you live in.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure where the Costco one was, but I know living in Southern California, this is like a very high like gaming and anime area, so I'm sure, you know, people were lined up to get that around the block, I'm sure. But one thing I will say that kind of did warm my heart a little bit, my cold dead heart about this topic, was seeing people line up for like a midnight release at like, you know, a Best Buy or a Target.
Yeah, the
or
good
whatever.
days.
It gave reminiscence of the good old days of people lining up and getting consoles and being excited for it.
Did you ever do that? Because I know I have a couple.
I didn't.
situations.
My parents did.
Your parents did it for you?
Yes, my
For
mom
what?
did it for our Wii.
Your Wii?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
she
cute.
lined up like I don't remember where she lined up, but she lined up and got us a Wii. And I remember Christmas morning, me and my sister were ecstatic. Like, not only did she get us the Wii, she got us the Guitar Hero package. So we were playing Guitar Hero on the Wii. Like, you know, it was a good time. And she got us the Wii Sports. She got us Mario Party. I think she went to GameStop actually, because I remember she got us like a used game of Mario Party 8, and it came in like the GameStop used package thing. So she must have got it from there. And the Wii had already been out like for a little bit at this point, I think. But
that wasn't a midnight release then.
Okay.
No,
I'm sorry,
I'm talking about the midnight release. Here, I'll tell you.
It wasn't a midnight. It was a I think it was a restock or something like that. Like, it had been released to a few people, and then they were like restocking, but it was within like the first few months of it coming out.
So did your
Definitely.
parents like stay like before the shop opened and made line or something?
My mom waited in a line. I know that. Like, she
Okay.
waited in a long line, and a lot of people were waiting.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically
Yeah.
the same thing.
I don't know if it was a midnight release though.
I've only done it for 3 games. No consoles, unfortunately. I've always been waiting for the hype to die down to get my hands on one. But I remember doing it for Black Ops 2 and for Kingdom Hearts 3.
I was there with you for Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my
3.
god! And you secretly recorded me, and I was geeking out like a toddler. I was so cringe. That video is the bane of my existence.
He was so cute. He was holding it like this, and he was like,
I was like,
"Oh my god, I can't believe I'm holding it. Oh my
it's
god,
real.
Like, it's
And
real."
no, yeah, do you remember the line too? It was in the Main Place Mall, or back then
we
it
were
was
at
the outlets.
outlets, the block.
No, sorry, the block. Yeah, the
we were at
block.
the block. And it was funny because we just came out of seeing a movie or something,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw people lining up, and we're like, out of GameStop, we're like, oh, what are you waiting for? They're like, oh, like Kingdom Hearts 3, and Brandon was like, oh my god, like I pre-ordered that, but at a different location, like I wonder if I can get it here. And so we went in and we asked her, like, yeah, like just wait in line, like you can totally pick it up here. So we stood there and waited in line and got it.
Yeah, and the game was okay.
And then the game ended up being okay. I was gonna say that was like the biggest letdown for you. I remember I was like asking you, I was like, oh my god, how was the game? You're like, it was alright. I was like, no.
It was a game. It was a game.
It was definitely a game.
It was definitely a game.
They definitely made a game.
I could talk about that game for another episode, but I'm just gonna say that for better, make up for it.
Yeah. No, I never did any of those like waiting for the midnight release things. Like not even for my PlayStation. Okay, this is a funny story how I got my PlayStation.
The second one, right?
Yeah, my PlayStation 2. So at the time, the PlayStation 2 was like the hottest thing ever. Okay, it really was. Like, this thing was hot shit. And everybody was trying to get their hands on one. my dad worked in electronics back in the day, and he was at like a company like Christmas party or something. And he entered a raffle, or all employees got entered in this raffle, right? Keep in mind, my dad is like in his 50s, okay? He's older. Like I have an older set of parents, okay? He's in his 50s. And they're giving away at this Christmas party is like the grand prize, a PS2. Guess who wins the raffle? My dad. And they call his name and they're like, oh, like, you know, say my dad's name. And they're like, you won like a PlayStation 2. And my dad literally turns to his coworker, who's like probably like 20 years younger than him, who's probably the exact demographic of age who wanted this console, and was like, what is that?
Was your dad never a gamer?
No, my dad was born in 1954, Brando. Okay, they didn't have games.
They had arcades. They had
not like
Tetris
that.
and Pac-Man.
Not like that. No, it was not a thing for that generation. It really wasn't. Like Gen X, yes, but not.
It's
but
bizarre
not the boomer generation.
that this man who worked with technology and electronics didn't know what a console was.
No, my dad was like not stupid when it came to tech, but he was not into the gaming side.
Keep in mind, this is the second one.
Yeah.
There's already a PlayStation 1. There's an Xbox One. I think we're about to enter the Xbox 360 era.
Well, he worked in what's it called, TV and radio.
Exactly.
That's not exactly, you know.
It ties in.
It ties in, but not really. Like.
Whatever.
Yes and
That's
no.
besides the point.
Anyway, long story short, he turns to his coworker and he's like, what is that? And his coworker just looks at him and is like, your kids are going to love it. And so that Christmas, we got a PlayStation 2. And I remember one of the first games we ever got with it was SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. And I played the shit out of that game. But yeah, that's the only reason, by the way, I got a PlayStation 2.
I want to say my little story about my PlayStation 2 because it's kind of similar. So I remember being like, you know, little Brando here, didn't really have a console. I had a friend who was rich as fuck. This guy had every console that kept coming out, and I would always go to his house and play his games. And my uncle saw that, and he was like really like moved by that. He's like, I want to get him his own console.
Aww.
So I didn't even know he was like getting his hands on one. And it wasn't until like, I think around my birthday that he surprised me with the console. Like my mom, my entire family didn't even know he got his hands on one. I have no idea how he did it, but I was the happiest I've ever been.
Aww.
And I remember what game got me into like gaming, like especially Naughty Dog as a developer, Jak and Daxter.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. I played that game so much. I had to buy the second one, the third one, the racing, the Frontier edition. Oh, my God. It literally was like a nice story.
I feel like that was like your introduction and awakening into becoming a gamer.
That's where I started
That's where you started.
descent into being a fucking nerd.
No, and that's so cool. And like that's cool because afterwards, like, you know, did you have a PS3 and PS4 too? Yeah. See, my parents stopped buying us consoles like that for a while. We didn't get a new console until the Wii. I wanted an Xbox 360 so badly because that was like the hot shit back in the day, remember? Like everybody was playing Call of Duty on the Xbox 360 and I begged my mom for one and she was like, no, like I'm not getting you that. Like I don't want you to have another console. You already have your PlayStation, like, and you never play with that. And I was like, because it's old. But yeah, then finally she gave in and got us the Wii. The only reason I'm pretty sure she got us the Wii was because of like the fact that it was technically like movement based, remember? Like you're not just like dormant, like you have to like move and like play Wii Sports.
Your mom
and
is
all
so
that. I know.
old school.
I know, literally. So that's why she got it for us because
That's
she was
funny.
like, okay, well at least they're not going to be like sitting there glued to the screen, which she was kind of right. I don't know. It depends on the game, but yeah, that's basically my story of what consoles I've owned. And then of course I owned my Game Boy. I got that one for free from, like you said, a rich friend. She didn't want it anymore because she got upgraded to the Game Boy SP, so I got that. Mm-hmm. And then my parents got me a Game Boy SP because I literally begged them for one because my friend who gave me her Game Boy was always playing her SP, and I remember like I was like, please, 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 can I get one? And they finally got me one. So, but yeah, my parents were like pretty supportive and like, you know, for the most part getting us like gaming consoles and stuff up until like, you know, the Xbox 360 era, and they were like, no. But yeah, you know, they didn't really get it though. They're boomers. You know, they were born in like the 50s. Like they didn't grow up with that. So Even today, oh my God. Sorry, I'm yapping a little bit.
No, it's okay.
My sister tried to get my dad to play, oh my God,
Detroit Become Human.
Detroit Become Human. This man could not hold even just having him hold the controller and remembering which buttons to press. He like my sister would be like, okay, like press X, and he would have to like look down at the controller and like search for like 10 seconds where X was, and then press X, and then she'd be like, okay, now walk over there, and he'd be like, which one is that? And I'm like, the Joy-Con. Like, oh my God, it was painful. Keep in mind, my dad is, I think at the time he was like 68. Okay.
Yeah, and Detroit Become Human is basically choose your own story kind of game.
Yeah.
So
it's
there's not that much gameplay.
It
like
should
you just
not
have
be
to
hard.
go to a certain spot and hit a button.
Yeah. My parents just are not, they will never ever be gamers ever. Like, it's just not in their blood. It's funny because my dad does like tech, like, but he's very much grew up in the era of like older tech. So all the tech that he has is stuff that he grew up with that's older. So it's kind of funny.
I mean, I respect that. If I try to use a ham radio, I don't think I could even get that shit to turn on. So.
My dad loves his ham radio. He loves his ham
own.
radio.
But you give me components and I'll build you a computer. Look at that. Now,
right?
Once I became of age, I built my own computer and I built basically my own gaming console.
Yeah. No, you're really, I was going to say, like, I feel like if my dad was born in this generation, he'd probably be like in the same boat as you. He would like that stuff. But, he's just in his era of tech and you're in your era of tech. And I'm glad you know how to build a PC because, I don't know, the first thing about that. My God.
Dude, I built these babies like about this point 4 years ago. And I can feel it creep up on me that they're becoming a little outdated. I tried playing Monster Hunter Wilds, and this is Monster Hunter franchise, one of my favorite franchises of all time. When I was in middle school, I had a PSP. And I used to sneak in the game in the middle of class. Keep in mind, I have my buddy next to me, and we're about to go on a raid. And like on the backpack, I'm just playing here while I'm trying to listen to the lesson. It's history, who cares? So I'm just here trying to like hunt a monster. Anyway, my computer can run it. It's pixelated. It is poorly generated, and it lags.
We're going to need to get that upgraded for GTA 6.
They're like requesting a 780 and I'm like, dude, I'm still like on the 2000 series.
We're gonna have to get our money up.
Yeah. So sponsor me for GTA 6.
I was gonna say we're gonna have to rob some liquor stores IRL to be able to afford the graphics card. We're gonna have to do some real GTA 6.
And with the tariffs going up, we don't know if these components are gonna be even more expensive. Oh man.
I don't even want to think about that. Like literally, I don't want to think about that. That upsets me. Truly, it does. But honestly, though, I love my PC. I love that you built it. It does have its issues. Like, I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it's you, though, or if it's Microsoft. I feel like Microsoft is the most unnecessary, like, what do you call Microsoft? Is it a processor?
It's a
software.
It's a software. Yeah.
Microsoft software.
It's like the running software in the computer.
Microsoft software is so fucking annoying.
Well,
oh my God. Like, the way that they just give me so much unnecessary shit that just plagues my computer with space and data drives me insane. It drives me insane.
Well, okay, so we basically have the same computer. We have different processors, which is there's like a small change on how they function.
Your processor is better.
I will say that I trust Intel a lot more than Radeon, but at the end of the day, we basically have the same level of computer. If we were to like tier them out, they are the same computer. But I maintenance mine. I update it, I clean it up, and you don't. And I feel like that's why your computer is a little slower sometimes, and it just struggles to keep up with you, because I've seen how you just leave on 20 different tabs and never close them, never log out, and your computer is like, yeah, it's been a while since my update. Can I get an update? And you just ignore it.
Listen, I'm not doing anything on my computer that is so exponentially outrageous that it needs to be constantly maintenanced and updated, okay? You know, you'd think I'm like building rocket ships on there and I'm not updating it. No, it's like I'm like, you know, saving videos or trying to get my photos into a actual tangible fucking folder and not a cloud or Microsoft goddamn OneDrive.
Okay, I will give you that one. I don't know why Microsoft and Apple have like a thing for the cloud. Can I just physically keep a copy of my computer, please? There is like a terabyte of memory in here, and you want to keep it in the cloud?
Yeah.
Like,
I have a terabyte. Dude, I almost lost like probably like 35% of my photos because I was transferring them from my phone to my computer, which, like you said, has 1 terabyte of fucking storage. I could not get, I put them on the computer and I could not decipher whether or not they were actually tangibly on my computer or if they were on the cloud. Turns out they were on the cloud the whole time. So if I was deleting them from my phone to make space, it was deleting them from the computer.
Yeah, no.
And by the way, if that ever happens to you and you do it within like 24 hours, you need to call Apple customer service and they can, all the photos you permanently delete off your phone, if you have like a iCloud, they can put it back on your phone for you. Like, I called customer service and literally was crying to them. It was like, I just deleted all these photos because I thought they were on my desktop and turns out they were all linked to the cloud. Like, can you get them back? And they were able to get them back for me. But I literally did it within like a 30-minute window. But it was just so annoying because I was like, oh my God, like, and the desktop, Microsoft doesn't make it like known that it's just like on the cloud. Like, they make it seem like it's on your desktop.
No, I double checked too. Me, as someone who has experience with computers, it physically looked like it's in the hard drive, but it's some form of synchronization where they're like all linked in together. So if you delete it from your phone, it deletes it from the what? It makes no sense.
Also, by the way, like, we're young, okay? We're like young adults who know tech. I can't even imagine somebody who's like 40 plus trying to do this.
No, I can totally imagine like old people losing their
precious memories, everything.
Microsoft is so stupid.
Because they're fucking greedy and annoying. Like, so I literally, what I had to do was I had to take all the photos that were on the cloud and I had to hit copy and then paste them into a fucking folder on my desktop as physical copies that weren't linked to a cloud. Because otherwise, by the way, it wouldn't let me just drag them. If I dragged them, then they would still be linked to the cloud. Or it wouldn't let me because it was linked to the cloud. So I couldn't just drag them in. I had to copy them and then paste them into a new folder so that they would have a physical place on my computer.
And you think turning off the cloud is like just an easy thing to do? You have to like pretty much beg Microsoft to be like, can you please turn this off? Like, you have to go out of your way to find the file, delete the file, and make sure this shit's off because it just gets in the way.
It's
and then
so
you
annoying.
Constantly get bombarded with, oh, the cloud is running out of memory. You need to buy more memory.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is why you do it, because you just want to make more money, dude.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like, why do I have this computer with 1 terabyte of storage that I can't even like use to put my photos on there? Like, what else am I going to use it for?
Yeah.
You know, like, and they make it so fucking hard. So yeah, that's why I don't like Microsoft. Like, it is the good year of 2025 and we haven't figured this shit out yet. I was doing this shit back in the day on my MacBook with my fucking iPhone 5, I would just upload it to Photos and it would be linked on the computer in the Photos app. But now if you do that, they link it to the cloud. And I'm just like, dude, fuck the cloud. Get this cloud out. I almost honestly want to delete the cloud for the next phone I get and just routinely add my photos to the desktop. Because if there's no cloud option, then maybe they won't prompt me for that.
I don't know about that. Like,
because it pisses me off.
I don't know if like the cloud is even like helpful at all.
I feel like it's not. I feel like it's
just another excuse for corporations to charge
get more
you
money for my stuff. Like, no, I want
give me memory on my phone.
And this is another thing we bring up. Same thing with the Nintendo Switch. Physical media. I don't even own my own goddamn photos apparently.
Yeah.
You know,
and
it's
it can
like
be exploited. It can be hacked.
Yeah.
Like, the cloud leaks.
Well, it's like, yeah, you have your photos, but they're on the cloud. They're like, oh, you actually want them physically on your computer? Well, we're gonna make it really hard for you to do that. And I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, oh my God. Like, yeah, so if you're struggling with, and keep in mind, it took a ton of research for us to figure out how to do this. Like, us tech-savvy, computer-knowing people, okay? I grew up in the era of a home computer, all right? I know how to use a fucking home computer. And these fucking, people at Microsoft and Apple, they are working together behind the scenes to make your life harder, to make you pay for OneDrive or cloud space. And they all need to be tarred and feathered and stoned in the streets. Sorry. I think I went a little overboard there. But I meant it. Oh my God. But yeah, we're just like ranting about everything right now, I swear. Is there anything you want to rant about?
I do have like a list of topics. Let's see. Do you have anything else on your end?
No. We have some stuff written down.
Yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about how fast food has lost the plot.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dude, they're charging like normal sit down restaurant levels of money for fast food. I mean, that's not the point. It's quick and easy. It's cheap. It's in and out, I remember when I first got in and out, it was like under $5, right? Mm-hmm. It's like $6.20 now. And it's slowly creeping up to be
for
like
a double.
Yeah.
Damn, that's kind of a lot.
And it's like,
but
you go to like McDonald's or you go to Wendy's and you're noticing that their pricing are also going up. Like
Wendy's nuts.
Their burgers are now like $10 each, and I'm like, what are we missing here?
No, I agree. I will say I'm an In-N-Out defender to the day I die. I love In-N-Out. Like I will never shit on it ever. These other fast food corporations, though, you're right. They're lesser quality, by the way. Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever the fuck, Carl's Jr. And they're charging more for, a burger or a combo than In-N-Out is. Mm-hmm. And In-N-Out is actually way better quality and honestly just tastes better. Let's be so for real.
Yeah.
So, and I've watched interviews as well with the CEO of In-N-Out, because keep in mind, In-N-Out is family owned. It is literally the granddaughter, I believe, of the original founder of In-N-Out, who is the acting CEO of In-N-Out. And she basically, not only do they pay a livable wage, okay, she was saying how, with the cost of goods and everything going up, tariffs, whatever the fuck, she said that they are not going to raise prices unnecessarily, that they are just going to eat the cost. Like, basically what she's saying is, I have enough money, we have enough money, I'm not looking to get record profits every single year, okay, as long as I am making profit, every year, and my employees are getting paid well, and my quality of my product stays to where it should be, then I'm happy and my company is doing well, which is like the mentality that all these companies should have, because
that's rare. You don't hear that often.
No, exactly. Yeah. And that's why all these fast food places are raising their prices, because they need to beat their profits every single year. And it's like, dude.
Well, that's not where it ends. Once they raise their prices, if that's the base price for fast food, imagine sit down pricing. Like you're paying $20, $30 for a burger.
I'm
like,
not paying.
Dude?
I'm not paying.
What are these prices,
I haven't
man?
gone to fast food like McDonald's or Carl's Jr. or Wendy's. And I used to love Wendy's in years because it's just too expensive.
It's not
what it used to be.
You're losing the plot. It's supposed to be
Wendy's
fast and cheap.
4 for 4. Hello. Yeah. That used to be the deal of the century. Now it's like, dude, I can't even get a 4 for 4. It's like a 4 for 5 or probably 6 now at this point. What the fuck is the point? I don't want that. Not only that, I know this food isn't that good for me either. It's definitely something that's supposed to be I don't have time to cook, or I'm just hungry, or I'm having a bad day, I'm gonna treat myself sorry, kind of thing. And it just doesn't even feel like a treat anymore. It's like, for the $12 that I just paid for this Wendy's, I could have gone down the street to my favorite teriyaki chicken bowl place and gotten a full healthier, more filling meal.
I will say the teriyaki spot is still holding up.
Yeah, for $8-9. It's a scam.
Your
Fast food is a
local
scam.
Taco joint, pretty much, I'm pretty sure they're holding up too.
Yeah, it's just I can't keep giving my money to these fast food places.
Yeah, but these corporations, man, they keep raising their pricing for what?
I know, literally for what? So the CEO can have 2 more yachts?
Yeah.
Fuck that. And especially in this economy and political climate, it's like, get that shit out of my face.
You're frying potatoes.
Yeah.
You're not.
If you're going to nickel and dime me and you're going to make me, charge me a ton of money for this, guess what? I'm going to go take my money and give it to a small business, period. They deserve it. You don't. It just, I don't feel like they even deserve my money at this point. Like, I can't justify
Well, that was
the
just
cost.
my small little rant about fast food.
No, and I appreciate that because it needs to be had, because honestly, In-N-Out's the only one still going strong. I feel bad for anybody on the East Coast who doesn't have it. Like,
If In-N-Out is doing like, their own thing, and they have to like at least raise the price to a certain extent, that scares me.
Yeah.
It's like, how is everyone else doing?
no, yeah. And honestly, they have raised their prices over the years, 100%, but it's still like the best value you can get here in Southern California, where, by the way, it's fucking expensive to live here, okay? It's expensive to live here. It's expensive to grocery shop here. It's expensive to eat here. Everything here is expensive. You walk outside and you spend $50 to $100, okay? It's expensive.
Shout out to Costco. They still haven't raised the price of the hot dog, so.
Yeah, but other stuff has gone up, but that's not really their fault. But still, it's expensive. So when In-N-Out is still there, standing strong, with their decent value for a burger and fries and a drink, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to support every single time. And their workers are well paid. Yeah, you got my business.
That's
10
true.
out of 10.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 there. I will be an In-N-Out girly till the day I die. Honestly, like, I didn't realize how good we had it either. Like, growing up in Southern California, just having In-N-Out near us at all times. Like, dude, we're privileged. Do you remember the first time you ever had In-N-Out? I don't. I know, right? It's just like, it's always been there.
I think the first time I had In-N-Out, I wasn't that impressed.
Really?
Because I didn't buy it. I didn't care about it. I thought it was a burger. And I'm like, the burger's fine. I wasn't a huge fan of the fries. And then I got older and I started paying for my own shit. And I'm like, oh, this is the shit. This is good.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this is like exactly what it should cost.
I don't remember the first time I ever had In-N-Out. Like, I just feel like I've always been having In-N-Out. Like, it's just been a thing, like, throughout my entire life.
I know I worked for Wendy's for like a couple months, and I've seen how they make their food back there. And I'm like really impressed that they still hold to those standards. But it shouldn't cost that much. Like, they got too greedy trying to raise their pricing during like rush hour or whatever.
Oh, that rush hour surge pricing. That's such bullshit.
Like, okay, like, are you making it bigger and better? No, it's the same thing.
You're not. Like, oh my God, that literally, and you guys weren't well paid either. If they were like,
bare minimum.
If you were going to make more money during rush surge pricing, I'd have been like, okay, I guess, like, I can get on board with that. But that's not the case. Like, it's literally just to go in their pockets, which is so stupid. Ugh, I can't fuck with that. That shit actually pisses me off. Upsetting. But I did want to talk about one thing. I wanted to talk about the Lego One Piece collection set.
I'm too broke, man. Like, honestly, I want to buy all these things, but
this guy loves Legos, by the way.
I used to have like an obsession with Legos.
Yeah, he was one of those.
Now my obsession is with the models, like Gundam built models, and I still have the other ones that I haven't built and touched.
Dude, you need to build those. I'm tired of the boxes just sitting there.
Yeah, I'm just being lazy.
I say you need to build those. Meanwhile, I'm like, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Like, when the fuck would he have the time to do that? My bad, guys. I'm the one keeping him from building them.
I had a friend from work actually remind me about the One Piece Lego sets. They're from the live adaptation too, which is a different model and everything. And I'm considering getting them, but where would I put it? Where would I have time to build it? Oh, I'm getting old, dude.
When do they come out?
I don't know.
I was gonna say, do you think they'll be like at Anime Expo or nah?
Maybe.
I wonder if they'll have anything at Anime Expo for like the live action One Piece. Like, Netflix
like
will have like a booth or something. Because Hulu's been there before in the past.
Yeah, Hulu's there every year.
Yeah, I've never seen Netflix there though.
Hulu's really, really like investing in the anime because they really always have like a panel and they always are advertising their latest big drop.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised that Netflix isn't there. They should have a booth there, at least in my opinion. If they did a booth for the One Piece live action,
they did have a booth last year.
Netflix didn't have a booth. No,
pretty sure they did.
No, they didn't. I would have seen it because it would have been in the entertainment hall, and it wasn't there because Hulu was there. Trust me, they didn't have one. But I think they should with a One Piece live action theme because that would be super cool because that's been super successful.
Was it last year when we had the giant inflatable Luffy?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, that was last year.
That's pretty cool.
That was really cool. I love the giant inflatables they do. I loved when they had the Attack on Titan head one. They had the Luffy one. They had Gear 4 Luffy, I think, at one point, too. And then I can't remember. Oh, I think they got a Dragon Ball one. I might be making that up.
They
Actually,
they did have one for some 100 where they had the giant shark, and then you can go in the shark and take a picture.
Yes, I remember that. Oh my god, there's so many cool activations. I'm so excited for Anime Expo. I literally can't wait. It's like the best time of the year. Truly, like it's gonna be so much fun. Oh, anyway.
Has my mic been falling? Like I can't tell.
I think it has been.
Okay.
Or maybe you've been sitting up more. Hopefully,
I gotta tighten this.
I was gonna say, hopefully that doesn't affect the audio.
It shouldn't.
And
I'm still
we
talking
find
directly
out
to
at
it.
the end, so I'm gonna be really upset.
And then I'm gonna get beaten.
And then I'm gonna beat him, yes, with my bare hands. I always make sure to put on all my rings before I beat him too. I'm only wearing one right now, so I have to make sure I put on the others. Oh, you poor thing. You poor baby. Anyway, I think that, that's everything we're going to talk about today. Is there anything else you wanted to cover?
No. That's pretty much it. I think we didn't have that many topics to talk about this time.
Say,
we're just
today
ranting
we were
about...
just talking and yapping, which is good. I think we needed an episode just to, talk about us and what we got going on in our lives to see if you fuck with that. Do you guys fuck with us? Do you guys, like what we're talking about? Do you relate at all? Do you think it's cool? Do you wish we would talk less about ourselves and more about anime or stuff going on in the industry? Genuinely let us know, because like I said, we don't know what this podcast is yet. We know that we have heavy anime influence, but we're not sure if we're
and the only
an anime
reason
podcast.
It feels lately that it's been exclusively about anime. It's just because we're creeping up on Anime Expo. Once that's over, we're gonna balance it out. I feel a little better.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna balance it out more when that's over. There's still going to be anime conventions that we have planned coming up after Anime Expo and everything, but we like talking about our lives and ourselves, just to kind of see if you guys can relate, and see if it's something that you guys can talk about with us, maybe in the comments, or maybe you can give us ideas, stuff like that. So yeah, I think this was a good episode. I'm happy with it.
All right. Perfect.
All right, let's go ahead and close it out. Is there anything else, final chance, that you wanted to add?
I'm good. I'm actually getting a little tired. This is very exhausting.
I know. We're gonna eat some lunch after this. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in to the We Smell Good podcast. We really appreciate it, and we hope you enjoyed. Like I said, if you have any comments or anything, topics you want us to talk about, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you just have any feedback at all on this podcast, please let us know. Leave it in the comments. We changed up the filming and the mic, so let us know what you think about that. The audio sounds
really
good.
Excited to test out the audio.
Yeah, let us know how the audio sounds, because we've been really working on that. There is literally a fly on my microphone is trying to get in my mouth while I talk.
Ew.
Hopefully that got him away. Anyway, follow us on Instagram, We Smell Good Podcast. Follow us on TikTok, We Smell Good Podcast. Also, we have new episodes every Friday at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then if you hate looking at us and you think that we are ugly and you only want to hear our voices, which you think sound beautiful, then listen to us on Spotify. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I feel like this is a great episode and we are getting better and better each time. So we will see you next week. Bye.